Welcome back to Bookview TV. Now, our guest this week is Trenton Oldfield. He's the author of the book, The Queen versus Trenton Oldfield, A Prison Diary. Now, the question I have to ask you, Trenton, is why write a book about the experience? Would not some people view that as perhaps selling out on your principles?
I don't imagine so. Why would that be? I mean, you may or may not know, but I was, as well as being given a 6-month prison sentence, I was also forced to pay the court costs of the Crown. So I wrote the book not, for one kind of main purpose, a whole lot of other purposes, but was to try and cover those costs. And it's £700 I need to pay. So we thought, people had offered donations, and I'm just not particularly comfortable with accepting people's money without any kind of relationship. So we wrote the book, and the reason the book came about was because people were writing to me in prison. I was just writing my own prison diary, and people were asking me what's it like, wanting to know the kind of day-to-day, the practice of everyday life in prison. So I thought, okay, maybe I should actually do it in a much more detailed way, be very thoughtful about it, and then maybe this is a way that I can communicate it to a broader audience. And what I wanted to do was to demystify prison. So it kind of was an opportunity. I don't know if anybody that works in books knows you don't make that much money from it. We're just trying to cover the £700 that the state put on top of the 6-month prison thing, and it's an opportunity to communicate. I hope that doesn't mean that I'm selling out.
The question was really asked from the perspective of what others might think, but what you've just said is a good enough explanation as far as I'm concerned. What's the biggest thing you've taken away from the last 18 months?
The biggest thing? Well, apart from my thesis being confirmed that elitism leads to tyranny, which has come home resoundingly loud, the biggest thing is kind of this solidarity between people in difficult situations. So if you're in, the cliche in prison is, that they're hugely violent places, and what my experience of prison was a lot of solidarity between people. So it's probably those kind of issues around, the relationships when you're in difficult situations, how people come together.
Now, you're fighting the Home Office, Trenton, and that is almost impossible. Help us understand where your deportation case is at present. In June, we received the letter that that they wanted to deport me and disassemble my family, and we had 10 days then to put in a letter of appeal. We put in the letter of appeal, and as of today, we've not heard not heard anything from the Home Office whatsoever, nothing. And we understood from communications that on average it would take 3 weeks to get a letter back from the Home Office with then a tribunal date, which would be 6 to 8 weeks from then. So about now we should be about in the next week or two going into a tribunal, but we haven't even received any communication at all, 0 communication. So we're kind of in a holding pattern, above the city, waiting to try and find out how we'll be able to fight. Yeah, it's interesting. I read one of the Telegraph blogs by Ed West, and he was talking about the proportionality of the sentence that you faced. Violent criminals average less than 2 years in prison, while you were given a 6-month sentence. And West said in his blog, Trenton had made himself a laughingstock with the pointless trick, and in this case, shame would have been the correct punishment. But now he almost looks like something of a martyr. What's your reaction when somebody says something like that in a major, broadly read newspaper?
The kind of popular media, there's the whole kind of thing about columnism. People that have lots of columns to write end up kind of saying things that they may not necessarily understand or agree with. They just churn out the words. But I don't know if it's martyrship, but I think people, as a result of the situation that I and my family have been going through now as a result, I think they understand much more what my protest was about, and they understand much more about me, and they understand much more about the system. So I don't know if it's martyrship, but it's allowed a whole extra body of knowledge to be shared much wider.
Now, you were broadly quoted standing outside of Alsworth Crown Court in London, and I have to say that seemed anything but contrite or apologetic in any way. You said, quote, "As inequalities increase in Britain and across much of the world, so does the criminalization of protest, and my solidarity is with everyone everywhere working towards more equitable societies." What exactly were you thinking and feeling in that moment in front of the court?
You're constantly told by your lawyers never to communicate with the media. Don't say anything. Go underground. If you give them anything, you'll be able to. But it was so clear to us as a result of being found guilty that we needed to say something. And what my experience is kind of a minute experience of what so many other people are experiencing. I am a white middle class man. My experience is different to most other people. For example, you mentioned Gary McKinnon, but somebody in a similar situation to him was Talha Hassan, who was extradited to America and is now in solitary confinement and was in the United Kingdom for 6 years without charge. So there's, and we've seen, the racist vans going around London, and these people being so-called collected, etc. So there's, my experience is kind of a mirror into something that's much more significant, much more is going on. So I wanted to be able to, share that feeling with them. It didn't feel like it was against me. It felt like it was against people who were fighting for these kind of issues, or happened to find themselves in situations that they just would never imagine they would find themselves in. So it didn't feel really, that day didn't really feel about me. It felt about everybody else in a way, including me, but not only about me.
Let's dive a little bit into the book, Trenton. I was really struck by the detail of your confinement, that it was actually, it really felt like a prison diary, and the photos that are included of clothing and utensils and things of that sort. What was your purpose in including all of that?
Well, it was to try and really demystify prison in the sense that I had this feeling that beforehand it wasn't going to be as kind of difficult or as violent as people had suggested, because you or I will have met people that have been to prison. We know that lots of people wander around that have been to prison, and it can't be what's made out on the television shows. So that was kind of eating away at me, and then I realised that it wasn't like that. That's my experience in one high security prison in the United Kingdom, at the beginning of the 21st century. So it's not, I can't speak for everybody, but that was my experience. And it seemed like there was this opportunity, because prisons basically are just created to essentially create a criminal class. So everybody has somebody to kick. We all say, oh, they should be in jail, or that person, they're the worst, they should be in jail. And we say that, willy-nilly, just, about whoever we don't like, whoever it is, I wish they get arrested and go to jail. But most people in jail shouldn't be in jail. There's kind of no need for jails to exist at all in the 21st century. They probably never needed to exist, really. They've just kind of gone on with this momentum. So what I wanted to do was kind of pull that apart and just look at the kind of the practice of everyday life in prison, and kind of demystify, because I'm afraid I have a feeling that many more people are going to go to prison as well. And many people that probably never imagined that they were going to go to prison will probably end up going to prison. So it was a way of communicating all those issues.
Yeah, it's an interesting scenario, and I really enjoyed reading that part. And when we come back with part 3 of our interview with Trenton, we're going to dive deeper into his book and learn what his future has in store when Bookview TV continues. Stay right here.